Hi friends, welcome to Aishus. Hi friends, welcome to Aishusdiy DIY. Today we will design a necklace using bargain beadbox subscription for the month of August. I have pulled out this roller chain that we got in the subscription box, and then we are going to design a necklace with all of these findings and this key. We got two keys. First I thought I will do a earring, but I never liked a key earring. um, it's supposed to be a pendant. It's nice and big, it's not so small, so just wanted it to be a pendant. So first of all, what I will do is I will take my roller and measure how long I want the this is going to be at least 2 strand or a 3 strand necklace. I haven't decided yet, but I just want to decide how much I have the roller chain so that I can decide upon the strands. So 24, 36, and there is only about say 39 inches. So if I'm doing a long necklace, I can do only a 2 strand with this chain, that's for sure. But let me just okay. So this is about say 24 inches. So in the middle or so I am going to start my necklace. So what I'm going to do is we have this finding that we have. I have some 22 gauge wire which is right here in the gunmetal, so I'm going to use that. We received from some head pins with this box, but I'm not going to use that, so I'm just going to cut a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit. Let me just eyeball it and let you guys know how much I have here. Okay, so it's about say 3 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to decide what I'm going to put it here. So I can do this. Okay, let me just pull that over there. So that's one option. This is another option, and this is also another option. I really like this color, pop of color here, and also the white, right? That's also pretty. You can just do white here, that will also look good. So this bead is sliced. I don't know if it is half or so. So this is I think this looks good. I'm gonna incorporate both green and white in this necklace, so I'm just deciding upon how to go about it. Yeah, I really like this way. So what I'm gonna do is take my wire, take my round nose pliers, and just make a wrap loop, start a wrap loop, and then I want to put this loop into the chain, and then hold it and wrap it. So this is a 22 gauge wire. You can also use 24 gauge wire. It's totally up to you. This is what I have in my stash available, so I'm just going to use it. Just 2 wraps is more than enough. You can snip off the excess if you want to, or you can try and I think I'll snip it off, and then tuck the tail in, because we don't want it to catch your dress or something. So this is what we have so far. I'm just straightening the wire. Now I will do the pear crystal bead, right? Then I'm gonna do a small wrap loop again. So I know I just wasted a little bit of wire, but that's okay. I'll save it. Tuck the tail in. So we started this. Then again, I have to add all of these. So I'm gonna think how I'm gonna do this, because so you can directly do this. That will also be good. You can also do this way. So if you do this way, so this will be a connector. So as this, take this off, do this, maybe this. I'm just thinking out loud. Yeah. Let's take about, say, couple of inches of wire to work with. I'm just eyeballing it. It's about, say, 6 inches. Okay. And then again, I start a wrap loop. There we go. Add it to this pear-shaped crystal. It's a pretty one. And then wrap it around a couple of times. Make your wrap pretty consistent. And snip off the excess wire with your wire cutters. Tuck that tail in. You can hold it upside down and just squish that. Add this finding, and then this. Okay. And then take this, bend the wire, reposition your pliers, and add your key. Okay. Hold it. Okay. And then I come around on the top because I have some wire left. I just wrap it around here. Okay. So that way. Hi friends, welcome back. So I thought of adding this green. I thought this is a pop of a good color. So I added one dangle right here with the key. And I really like the way it looks. And we will make a little bit of some adjustments over here. For that, these head pins, we got it with the box, so you don't have to use the ones that you got from you have in your stash. So what you need to do is take your round nose pliers, right, put it on top of the bead, doing a wrap loop. So bend the wire and then reposition your pliers, make it come around, hold these, and then that, right? Form a loop, add it to the loop on top of the key. It has a big hole, so I'm adding it there. And then what I do is I take my pliers, hold the loop, and then with my hands itself I'm doing the wrap loop. I guess this is a 22 gauge or a 24 gauge hard, half hard wire. Cut the excess off and then tuck the tail in. Sometimes you find it hard to tuck the tail in. In that case, you can cut a little bit more. If it is artistic wire, it's more pliable. German style is a little bit trickier, I would say. So how many dangles you wanted here, it's totally up to you. So we have this much left, and I need some for this part as well. I did this and I really like that, so I'm just going to do 5 or so. Some crystals has a bigger hole, as you can see. The ball had been bent inside, so just check before you do the wrap loop, otherwise you will be wasting the head pin. This one's good. There we go. Do another wire wrap. Just form the loop and slip it inside the hole, and then hold it there and do the wrap loop. You can also use your pliers if you want to. And then snip this excess off. Always keep a small box or a dish to hold all your leftover wires, because if it falls down it might poke anybody, if you have kids or pets. So it's always a good practice to, you know, have a small trash can, makeshift trash can. I like to do it like this, so I catch all the tidbits right here, and when it gets a little bit full I just throw it away. So we'll do one more dangle maybe, or is this good enough? Just checking. I think this is good enough. We don't need more. So there we go. That's that. And then what I'm going to go ahead and do is take the bead, and I'm going to take my wire, 22 gauge wire, and straighten a little bit off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop one bead inside. Okay. Bend the wire at 90 degrees, reposition it. I'm going to make a wrapped loop. Okay. And then put the loop here. Hold the loop that way. And then do a wrap. tuck the tail in, and slip this bead off. I'm working with the spool. I'm comfortable doing so, but if you're not, make sure you cut about, say, 2.5 to 3 inches. So I make that loop and then cut it. So now I have this. I take one more of these finding and then I slip it on, just like so. And then take it and wrap it around nice and tight, right? And then snip off this excess. Then tuck the tail in. We have this. So I'm gonna make one more. I'm gonna make this adjustment sit properly. I'm gonna make one more connection right here and then add another finding over here, and then we will add the bead over here. That's what I'm thinking. Let's go ahead and take ourselves a little bit more wire. So if you cut it, say 2.5 inches, it's about, say, 2.5 inches. So let's see how we do it here. Take your round nose pliers, say about, say, 3/4 of an inch. Make a loop and then slip that loop through this. And hold it and do a wrap loop. There we go. And then let's tuck the tail in. There we go. Straighten your wire up. I'm squishing the loops so that's nice and neat, and straighten my wire up. Take the bead through it, and now we are ready to do the other side. 2.5 inches, a little bit more. I think 2 inches should be perfectly fine, but that's okay. So now add another finding, filigree. Hold it right there and then do a wrap loop. If you have a longer wire, the wrap loop comes better and then easier. Now we are going to tuck the tail in. There we go. That's nice and neat. So now I'm ready to actually do the dangles with the beading wire. So I have made here a dangle and one more dangle here with this pear-shaped crystal. So I'll show you guys how I did that. Take your bead, because some of the beads have bigger holes and it just goes through inside. I didn't want to take a chance, so I used this spacer bead that we got. I added one of the spacer bead and a crystal, and then again a spacer bead. Now what I do is I just bend this wire at 90 degrees, take my round nose pliers. I'm not cutting any of these off. I'm starting to make a loop. See this? A P-shaped loop. I'm not straightening it out. And as you can see, my loop didn't end at the bead. It just went on the side, if you can see that. Right? Now you take that and do it that way. See this? It overlaps over here. Right? So what I do is I put my pliers and I loop it, but on the side, like a spring or like a I do it continuously until I reach the bead. See this? It's like a spring kind of a thing. And I take my pliers and just squish a little bit, so that's nice and neat. And this is what I have, right? So what I do is I slip this on to the beading wire. Just added an gemstone spacer, then howlite, and then this one, and then a gemstone spacer, a howlite bead, and then this guy. If you can see, it's slanting towards one side. If you don't want that, what you can do is put your pliers through and you can straighten it out if you want to, but I don't want to straighten it out because it gave a gap right there. I tried to straighten it out, so I'm just going to put it inside. See, it also serves as a spacer. It has a gap so that your next bead is not right adjacent to it. So then we can put a gemstone, right? So right, a gemstone, and then I'm going to take a spacer bead, okay, and then I'm gonna add this pear-shaped bead. So there is 2 beads in between that, so I will follow the same thing. So add one more and then add this. The same way I did wrap here, I did the same with the pear bead, and as you can see, this is what it is looks like. So this has to come here, and this, if this comes here, it will be more. So we can start over without the roundel beads is what I'm thinking. So the direction is also important. As you can see, this one is tilted towards the side, so this is the front of the necklace, so I do it this way. add that and add the white one and then add another one, just like so. So if I add it towards here, that would be nice. And then again, green one, then a pear-shaped bead, or we can do one more dangle. It's totally up to us. Let's see. So it has to come here, and then this will come about the center. It's good to do this way. Figure out the center first. I will make more dangles and come back. As I said, a spacer, then a green bead, then a spacer. And then you can also bend this at 90 degrees with your round nose pliers itself and just roll, make a loop first. Make the loop not touch the wire but right next to it, just like so, so that it will be easier for you to make the loops. There we go. I'll do a couple more dangles and come back. So I have figured this out. I made more dangles, 4 dangles this side and 4 dangles that side. And then I figured to add one more of this filigree out here by as the same wrap loop connector that we did here. I did one more, and then I added this to the filigree, and I added the chain on the top. So I added the filigree in this hard part. So let me tell you guys. I'll do this side, then it will be clear for you guys. So again, we need some wire. This is from my stash. Straighten out a bit. Take one green roundel. We're going to make a wrap loop. I'm just going to cut this wire a bit so it's easy for me to work with, and then I will add it to this filigree right here. There we go. So do a couple of wraps, snip off the excess wire, and then tuck the tail in. There we go. And put the bead in. Again, do again another wrap loop. Start a wrap loop. Take the filigree and add it in. And then go ahead and finish the wrap loop. So you can make consistent loops if you want to. I just eyeball the wire, so whatever comes for me. There we go. And after this, now the beading wire, I have finished it here. I used a crimp bead. Actually, I used a crimp tube. You can use a crimp bead or crimp tube, whichever you have available in your stash. I used the size 1 crimp. So what I do is I take the beading wire. Okay, I'm gonna cut it about, say, here. So take about 7 inches of beading wire. That should be more than enough. So I take a spacer bead, metallic spacer bead. I add it over here. So I just make sure there is a short tail out here, and the bead goes on top of the short tail. So I'm doing all of this because I did the other side. You will have to do that side first. Doing the first side is easy. And then take my crimp tube, add it to the beading wire, bead stringing wire, and then to this finding, there is 2 hearts. I wanted to do it on the top heart just because when it falls down anyways, it will look as if it's center. So I add it there. I add it back through my crimp tube, and probably so take it, pull this off, probably through the spacer bead as well. And now you can pull this up by holding the filigree and pushing the crimp tube down. There we go. So now that's I don't want a little, like, we want a little bit of a space for movement, because if it is way too tight, then this might be stiff. So just keep that in mind. We want a little bit of a gap. We don't want this to be way too tight. Let me just do this one more time. Just a little bit gap. So that's good enough. Go ahead. I'm just going to flat crimp it. I'm not doing the crimping pliers for this. You can actually hide this with the crimp cover and snip off this excess beading wire. And there we go. There is a short one. I'll try to cut it as close as possible. And this is what it looks like so far. I kind of like the way it turned out to be. I am going to add a chain over here. You can finish it up at this point. You can add the toggle clasp that we got from this bag, and then call it a day. Or you can add one more layer of chain if you want to. It's totally up to you. It doesn't have to be the same as what I did, but I really like the way it turned out to be. So I'm going to add chain, and then I'm going to add, this I want it in the around the neck, so I will just keep it around my neck and see how long I want the chain, because I know I cut 24 inches, but I think this should be good enough. The chain that I have here should be good enough for this to come as a choker. I want this to be a choker and then this to come down. So that's what I want this pattern to be. So there we go. So I'm going to add this chain. So as I said, you remove the roller chain. This is like a jump ring that you can open up, but try to use a smaller or thinner chain nose pliers or tweezer nose pliers. It's easier to open that way, as this roller chain is very thin. Hold it and twist it open, and then I'm gonna add it to this finding of ours. And then what I found easy to close is not with two pliers. Obviously it's a little bit of a hassle, but just manipulate it with your fingers a little bit. First start with the pliers. It's hard to hold. I wish I had one more tweezer nose pliers to do this job. Then what I do is I just hold this and press this, and I hold it and press this that way. So that way it's closed. Now it's done, except for the part wherein we have to add the finding for the closure, right? So you can do it either way. I like to do it this way because I tried around my neck, it was perfect. Sorry, my watch. So I just eyeball it and I cut it. Take my I need jump rings. Now we shall take the jump rings and open it up and add it to this end of the chain and your toggle clasp. So I'm using two jump rings just to be on the safer side. I don't want to trust just one jump ring. And for this jump ring, I would like to use the bent nose pliers rather than these two pliers. That way it's nice and sturdy. As I said, the bent nose pliers is awesome if you do it like this, especially for the bigger jump rings. I'll just open this up one more time and add it to this chain. And also the toggle clasp loop, and close it. Now that's secure. As you can see, I feel much more secure if it has two jump rings. Do the same to the other side. Now the other end of the toggle. Close it. Make use of this bent area so that you'll get a firm connection. You can firmly hold your jump ring while you're closing it. There we go. You should clear that click sound. That means it's completely closed. Now our necklace is ready. I hope you guys like this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon for notification. I do upload videos couple of times a week. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys like this tutorial of this 2-strand necklace with bargain beadbox subscription for the month of August. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye bye.